This is Teacher Glenn, your venture partner. Welcome to the scientific journey through learning becomes simple once we properly explore a lesson. And remember that it is an arrogant act to assume no responsibility in comprehending science if we are employing science in our personal gain. So now, fasten your seatbelts because I am about to take you on a scientific adventure to answer your questions. Let's explore the mysteries and beauties of science. Are you ready to venture another day of learning? Okay, students, let's start our adventure by playing the game entitled Unscramble Jumble. The objective of the game is to rearrange or unscramble letters to form a word. I will provide the definition of the jumbled letters that will serve as your guide in arranging the letters into correct sequence to form the right or exact word. Remember, you only have 5 seconds to write the correct word in any piece of paper. Are you now ready, grade 8 students? Let's start the game. Number 1. The jumbled letters are this word. Means a fuzzy luminous being dirty snowball composed of gas crab and thus wrapped around the people's eyes. What is the correct word? Marvelous! The correct word is comets. Number 2. The jumbled letters are this word. Refers to object from outer space that pass through Earth's atmosphere. What is the correct word? Great! The correct word is meteor. Number 3. The jumbled letters are. This word refers to simply rocky or metallic objects that orbit the sun. What is the correct word? Awesome! The correct word is asteroid. Number 4. The jumbled letters are this word. Means the center of the comet made of frozen water. What is the correct word? Amazing! The correct word is nucleus. Number 5. The jumbled letters are. This word means an area where maybe asteroid orbit the sun in a region between Mars and Jupiter. What is the correct word? Incredible! The correct word is asteroid belt. Excellent, students! I know you've got all the items correctly. I'm happy to know that you can still recall important scientific terms which you learned from your previous level. Come on, students! Let us know our lesson objectives. This session will cover our most essential learning competency, that is to compare and contrast comets, meteors, and asteroids. Most especially, you will learn the following lesson objectives. First, know the origin of the region of comets, meteor, and asteroids. Second, describe the characteristic of comets, meteor, and asteroids. And lastly, determine the components of comets, meteors, and asteroids. Have you ever experienced observing the night sky, waiting for falling star, and making a wish? Or being a spectator of the meteor shower? Can you still recall your Lolo and Lola talking about bad omen? The moment it will appear in the sky? This lesson will help you understand our comets, meteor, and asteroids, and how they form. But before we start, make sure to have your pen and your paper so that you can write all of the things that you will learn from today's lesson. Are you ready to begin our space adventure?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, let's explore together. What's the difference between comets, asteroids, meteoroids, meteors, and meteorites? Let's start with the comet. Way back then, comets were unpredictable and mysterious, and most people thought they were some sort of evil omen and believed such appearance were foretell bad news. At present, we know that comets are part of our solar system family. They are made up of materials left after the sun, the planets, and the moon were formed. A comet is a fancy, luminous, big dirty snowball composed of gas, rock, and dust wrapped around the big ball of ice. This amazing phenomenon in the sky moves very slowly and remains for weeks before fading out of view. As comets pass close to the sun, they heat up and spew gases and dust into a glowing head that can be larger than a planet. The parts of the comets consist of the coma, which envelopes and hides the nucleus from our view. And nucleus is the center of the comet made of frozen water. The head is a combination of the head of the coma and the tail are formed from the dust and gases that stretches away from the sun. The coma and the tail are the most noticeable parts of the comet, as seen from Earth. We see these parts of comet because they glue and form two tails. An ion tail, which is bluish, and the dust tail that is yellow and composed of neutral sodium atoms. Where did the comets come from? Most comets are found to the outer edge of the solar system, beyond the orbit of Pluto in a region called hyperbelt. Comets are occasionally pushed by gravity in the orbits, bringing them closer to the sun, and are called short-period comets, as it takes less than 200 years to orbit the sun. Comet appearance is predictable because they have passed by before. On the other hand, a comet that is less predictable are the one that is called long-period comets, many of which come from a region called the Oort cloud. It would take 30 million years of such comet to make one trip around the sun. Halley's Comet is the most famous comet. It's a great example of a short-period comet and make an appearance once every 66 years, and it's set to return in 2061. You can now mark your calendar for its next arrival. Other comets are long-period comets that can make up to 1 million years to orbit the sun. Hale-Bopp Comet is an example. Asteroids, sometimes called minor planets, are simply rocky or metallic objects that orbit the sun, the same way that the planets orbits. It is believed that asteroids are remnants left over from the early formation of our solar system, about 4.6 billion years ago. Asteroids come in all sizes and shapes. Ceres is the largest of the asteroids. Many asteroids orbit the sun in a region between Mars and Jupiter. This area is called the asteroid belt. Jupiter plays a big role in preventing asteroids from constantly bombarding the inner planets by pulling the asteroids outward. How's the learning exploration so far, students? Always remember to take note the important information in a piece of paper. By taking notes, you can easily remember what you learned from the lesson. Got it? Have you you try to go chasing the starry night and wishing upon a falling star, or be a spectator of an amazing phenomena that only the nature shower can make you feel the wonders of the sky? Let's continue our space adventure as we explore what is meteor, meteorites, and meteoroids. Meteor are objects from outer space that pass through the Earth's atmosphere. They may even be asteroids. Tiny meteoroids were the grains of dust from tails or dying comets. Meteorites are rock from space that had been landed on Earth at surface. They may have been fragments of meteor impacts, hundreds, thousands, or millions of years ago. To understand more about our lesson, let's recall what we had learned today, shall we? Comets are made up of gas, dust, ice, and rocks. The comet is basically composed of the nucleus, the coma, the head, and the tail. Comets can either be short period or long period comets. The most famous comet of all is Halley's Comet. Asteroid. Asteroid is often referred to as minor planets or simply rocky or metallic objects that orbit the sun, the same way that planets orbit. The asteroid belt is a group of asteroids between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. Meteoroid is any piece of asteroid, comet, or even lunar material that has been detached or chipped off under some collisions, and that has been veered off and pulled toward a larger gravitational body. Meteor. The meteoroid that enters Earth's atmosphere becomes a meteor. It burns up as it travels through the atmosphere, producing a streak of lights. Did you know that there are larger and denser meteors that pass the mesosphere? It is called fireball. Fireball is a meteor that burns as it travels through our atmosphere, leaving behind very bright streaks of lights. Sometimes it is even visible during the day. This rare phenomenon is a result of a meteoroid that is larger or denser than usual. Meteorite. For a meteorite, it doesn't completely burn up as it travels through the atmosphere. The fragments fall to the ground and is called meteorite. Alright students, I'm sure that you can still remember our discussion earlier. This time, let us answer the activity entitled Fill in the Box. Now, here's the direction. Fill the appropriate box with a given statement or phrase that best describes the characteristic of a comet, the asteroid, and the meteor. You will be given 5 seconds to fill the box with a correct statement or phrase, and then I will give the correct answer. Are you now ready, graded students? Let's start. First characteristic, the shooting star. Where do you think it belongs? You are right, it belongs to Meteor. Second characteristic, this is between Mars and Jupiter. Where do you think it belongs? Yes, it belongs to asteroids. Third characteristic, can be found in the Oort cloud or hyperbelt. Where do you think it belongs? Great! It belongs to comet. Fourth characteristic, an example is Sirius. Where do you think? Excellent! It belongs to asteroid. Last characteristic, its Its appearance is a sign of bad omen. Where do you think it belongs? Perfect! It belongs to Comet. Good job, students! I know you were able to answer the test correctly. You may read and answer the activity 2 that I will provide later at the end of the discussion. I hope you have learned something new today. Thank you so much for joining me in unlocking new knowledge. Again, this is Teacher Glenn. And before I end, I must just say, some people appear as comets in our life. They burn so brightness and fast that they don't last. Goodbye, and let's see each other in our next adventure.